Alien. Speaking of former Crystal Braves, I've not seen Agnes of late. Constantly away on missions as he is, I wonder how he fares. Who were he? I lose track of the minor signs. After the company eras went their separate ways, I did try working on my own for a bit. And I'll admit, it was nice being able to pick my own battles, but if you want to make a real difference, you need to find a good crew and stick with them. Who is this over here, and why do they have a quest? Oh, it's the level 63 Bard guy. Have I hit level 63 on Bard yet? I have not. Nowhere near, in fact. Alfie. Alphino is keen to hear what Alizé and Grahatir have learned from the Braves who turned their back on the course. Okay, then. Well, I think we've taken up enough of our colleagues' time, and I am conscious that less life-affirming testimonies await. Let's make our way to Gridania and hear what the others have learned. Speak with Ali Bey in Gridania. Whereabouts is Ali? What is over here? The Lancers Guild. Why is she at the Lancers Guild? Yes, I can remember how to work the Ethernet. It has been a long day. Alfie. On the way here, I took the opportunity to write up my notes from our conversation with Alian and Riel. When, how, what? How does time work for NPCs in this game? All that remains is to add Ali Bey and Alice. He wouldn't call her Ali Bey, would he? Because it's his sister. And that would be wrong and weird. Wrong and weird. I can't. All that remains is to add whatever they may be. When Alice truly sets her mind on something, there is no stopping her, and her mind was truly set on finding former Braves, for a while I even feared what she might do to them. But in the event, she was admirably civil, for the most part. This is why I like Alice. Thanks to Tattoo's ever-dependable intelligence, we managed to track down a handful of former Braves without any great difficulty. Some were forthright, others less so, but we heard enough to form a picture. I must warn you, Alphino, some of the comments were harsh. I can well imagine, but their opinions are no less vital to my report. I seek the unvarnished truth. Oh, I want to hear about them. Thank you. I will set about adding your findings to my own at once. In the meantime, pray go on ahead to Little Solace and seek out Elder Frixio. I will join you anon. Nod. You mean to attend to my report and join the others in Little Solace? I shan't keep you waiting long. I know how playful the sylphs can be. It's true. They are quite playful. I still haven't mastered the kind of speed teleporting music and controller, which is why I keep on using the mouse for it. It's faster. What? That was entirely the wrong button. Do, 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 do. I love being able to fly in the old world zones. Everybody's standing here. Hello? Raha? Oh, no. There we go. Though I had the honour of sharing a table with Elder Frixio and Alamina, I did not have the opportunity to speak with him. I do hope my studies have granted me a sufficient grasp of his people's customs. Now that I think about it, of the four of us, only you and Alphino have any real experience in conversing with sylphs. Still, it can't be that hard, can it? That, everybody, is what we like to call foreshadowing. It's not even subtle foreshadowing. Ah, welcome, brave one, and friends of brave one. How good it is to see you walking once again so soon after the meeting. Should this one perform the customary dance of greeting? No, be at ease. It is true that these ones once delighted in making walking ones dance, but no more. Horned one Canisena said that walking ones would be coming to Little Solace. Imperial ones also evaded Sylphlands and abducted many of these ones, so these ones will be glad to bear messages between fighting friendly ones. That is heartening to hear, Elder. It will require all ones to work in unison to stop the Tilofroi. These ones will try very hard, of course, but in matters of war, these ones have little experience. Any advice walking ones can provide will be most welcome. Oh, another pretty silver-haired one, and in quite a hurry, it seems. As I say, you must come quickly. Whatever's the matter, Alphino? Don't tell me you couldn't read my handwriting. What? No, a twin adder accosted me as I was about to set out. Charlene has sent an envoy who's due to arrive from Gdani at any moment. An envoy? Could it be the Kryles managed to sway the Forum? No. We shall know soon enough, but there is more. The envoy has requested that the two of us attend the audience with the Elder Seater. Really? I can see why they might want Sires to be present, but as specifically... Wait. It isn't who I think it is. It is. I could scarce believe it myself, but when I inquired as to the envoy's identity, I was told that it was one Fauchenant Levier. Dad. Your father? Well now, the fact that a serving member of the Forum had journeyed here would be surprise enough, but him? Quite. I glean from this that they are taking the matter seriously. That may be, but why him and not one of the other 98 Forum members? Unless he volunteered for it. So there were 99 Forum members. That is a substantial amount. It's been some time since you last saw your father, has it not? Could it be that he's concerned for your well-being? No. No. Perhaps, but he has always been reluctant to discuss his work with us. Indeed, and whenever we write to our parents, it is invariably our mother who replies. Nevertheless, I welcome the opportunity to meet with him after so long, even if it is secondary to his true purpose here. Elder Frixio, loath I am to cut our visit short, we must return to Gridania. I accept my apologies, along with my reports. Never mind. There will be time to talk later. This one won't keep walking once from more urgent matters. Go. Go. The audience will be held at the Lotus Stand where the Elder Seed Seer awaits even now. Let's be on our way. Not. Still doing it. Floppy hair. Well. I must admit, that's not the mouse, that's the mouse. I must admit that I was not expecting Fauchenant to appear here. Essentially, I thought we weren't going to meet him until Endwalker. Conjurer's Guild. Silent Conjurer. Welcome, Warrior of Light. The Elder Seedseer and your friends are waiting within. Right. How much is now going to go wrong? Dad's not here yet. After all this time, it will be good to see my father, even if it is an official meeting. 99 may seem like a rather lot of members, but before the Forum was founded, every person of age in Charlene was given equal say in its governance. Many of the institutions that are still active today were established by the people's vote, not least the Studium. As Alice and I were constantly reminded during our time there, it is an example of what can be achieved through absolute democracy. Which is all well and good until you have the end of the world. During my time in Charlene, I heard much of Fauchenant Levier. He is a gifted speaker, known amongst other things for the uncompromising application of foreign policy. So he's a stickler for the rules. My friends, I thank you all for coming so swiftly. Word of Master Fauchenant's visit took us quite by surprise. When the Alliance granted Mistress Kryle permission to request Charlene's aid, we did not anticipate so prompt a reply, much less that it would be delivered by a member of the Forum. What the nature of that reply may be, we shall soon discover. I suspect it's going to be sod off. Or we won't intervene because we're Sharlayan. That is some high pixel density. Seriously. HD textures plus. Hi, Daddy Levier.
Elder Seedseer, I thank you for granting me this audience.
That sounds like the same voice actor who does Justinian.
I am Fortuno Levier, here in my capacity as representative of the Forum.
It is I who should thank you, Master Fortuno, for journeying so far and so swiftly. Would that our first meeting could have been under happier circumstances.
So have they come from, or has he come from old Sharlayan at this time? Hi, Dad.
It has been too long, Father. You look well.
As do you both. Ameliance will be glad to hear that you are taking care of yourselves.
He seems very nice.
How is Mother?
She misses you terribly, of course, but is otherwise a picture of health. Circumstances apart, I'm grateful that our meeting has afforded me the
I
chance
got
to
the
be
impression that he
reunited
was a
with my
bad,
children at
not
long
a
last.
bad guy, but
And I believe I also owe you thanks for the hospitality you showed my father, Louisois, during his sojourn in Eorzea.
I'm sure somebody's spoken about him badly. Oh,
All thanks we owe to him.
just in case you'd forgotten
In
who
the
Louis
days
was.
prior to the 7th Umbral Calamity, it was your
Although I suppose if
father's
you
tireless
haven't done
efforts which granted us
Alice's
the means to vanquish the Prowls.
Bahamut quest line at level 50, you won't know a huge amount about Louisois. There were bits and pieces about him and Tipsamati, the broken staff, but not actually a huge amount about him, really, is there?
Were it not for him, our strength would have been quite spent by the time the Empire arrived. That Gridania still stands is in large part his achievement. He was a great man.
Yes. Yes, he was.
He would doubtless have been moved to hear you say so. I must confess,
The
however,
spot
that I
monitor.
opposed his decision to intervene.
Well, of course you did. Foreign policy.
And my position remains unchanged.
Shocking! But
To chart the course of history, not to change it. I am familiar with the Sharlayan stance.
It is more than that. It is our way of life, who we are.
this it's a philosophical schism, realistically, between the Sharlayans and maybe even Alphano and Alizé.
But I came here not to deliver a lecture, but the Forum's answer to your request. Sharlayan will under no circumstances intervene in the conflict between Eorzea and the Garlean Empire.
Not surprising, really. We knew this.
May I ask for what reason the Forum has come to this decision? The final days spell the end not only for Eorzea, but the entire world.
Canisella making a very valid point.
The final days. Pray spare me your hyperbole. This conflict is no more than the latest in a series of petty squabbles between yourselves
Oh,
and
they're in denial. They don't
Garlean
realise.
will take no part.
For all their information
If
gathering.
the final days were truly upon us, we would know.
Ah, and there's here that little edge in his voice, that superiority complex.
Father, you must ask the Forum to reconsider.
Alphino, you know better than this. He's not going to.
You may feel safe on your little island across the waves, but if you imagine the Telophoroi will leave you be, you are mistaken. They mean to kill us all, themselves included.
Alphino is right. We have seen what the enemy is capable of, the lengths to which they'll go. This is no time to turn a blind eye. If Eorzea falls, so too will Sharlayan. So if you truly love our homeland, you will join us. Now, before it's too late.
I thought you knew better than to raise your voice to your elders. It seems I was wrong. Wrong to ever let you leave, Sharlayan.
Here we go.
I consoled myself that your time abroad would instill in you some hint of restraint, of discipline. But I see now that Eorzea has made fools of you both. Have you forgotten why it was that I so vehemently opposed your grandfather's departure? For all his wisdom, his only solution was to go to war. Death, devastation, ruin. Even those who claim victory are scarred for life. What prize could ever justify such sacrifice?
That the living continue living, albeit scarred.
It is the duty of the learned to avert such tragedy. By fanning the flames of war, you forsake all you once held dear.
But unfortunately, the learned do not avert wars. All too often they get involved in them and make the weapons for them. Oh, who said that? Was that Emmett? That was Emmett, wasn't it? Wow.
Your friend shares your misguided ideals. But unlike her,
Blanked.
you should know better.
Interesting. As I've mentioned multiple times before, obviously, any time somebody refers to the gender of the Warrior of Light, they have to record the voice line twice.
By espousing such barbaric notions, you subvert the teachings of Sharlayan and place all we have worked for in jeopardy.
The things you work for won't keep you safe.
Alphino, Alize, as of this moment, you shall no longer bear the name of Leveilleur.
Oh, wow, okay.
What?
Father.
How you choose to live your lives is no longer my concern. If you wish to walk
Okay,
the path of
there we
ruin,
go.
I will not stand in
Bad
your
guy
way.
daddy.
Master Fortuno, while Sharlayan may have no intention of intervening in this conflict, we can still part as friends. Will you not stay and speak with us, that we might learn of Sharlayan's hopes for the
There's
morrow?
the diplomat.
I have said what I came here to say. Any further discussion would be meaningless.
Insular isolationist superiority complex. And a little bit of a git to go with.
Wait!
Don't bother, Alize.
He's not going to change his mind.
How can you stand there and watch him walk away? How can you let this happen?
What can we do? He's not going to change. I'm sure I'm sure their mother is going to have something to say about that. It's especially interesting that they mentioned her health. It was not so very long ago that we had a friend and neighbour in Sharlayan, and so I clung to the hope that she might yet lend us her strength. But when she forsook Dravania, it would seem she forsook us all. Is it we who walk the path of ruin? Time will tell. In order to avoid conflict with Garlemald, the Fawn went so far as to order the abandonment of an entire city-state. Their refusal to aid us now is, I am sorry to say, entirely consistent with their historic position. Ali Bay. Hugs. So that's what he came here to say. That we're all fools for having the temerity to defend ourselves against the Telophoroi. As for the rest. Like it or not, this was the Fawn's decision. To watch from afar while Eorzea burns. Father was but the messenger. As he handed down their judgment, I could think of nothing to say that would possibly sway him. I still can't. To have prolonged the discussion would have changed little, for it is not only Master Fortunato who must be persuaded, but the Forum as a whole. Their decision was made before your father crossed the sea. Nor is it like to be changed, and so we shall face the Telophoroi without their aid. Forgive me, but if they had no intention of helping us, then why would they go to the trouble of sending an envoy in the first place? Why do they not simply keep their counsel as they are wont to do? Uh-oh. Demajen, has Master Fortunato arrived yet? He's came his sword, Then it is as I feared. My efforts were in vain. I pleaded our case to as many Forum members as I could, but they flatly refused to discuss the matter. No, that's not exactly true. I should rather say that they ignored every word I said on the subject without exception. It was almost unnerving. Something's got to them. Could it be that they are hiding something from us? That might go some way to explain Master Fortunato's performance. When he said that they would know if the final days were truly upon us, I dismissed it as pride. But what if they genuinely believe they know how the world will end and simply disagree with us about the circumstances? So this links into the scene in the trailer where Graha's down in the vault, somehow behind chains and padlocks and stuff. I'm assuming there's another door to that room. Where he's reading through the books in the vaults of old Sharlayan. And he's saying, there are secrets yet. So maybe this is what is suggested here. That I don't know, but something tells me they are not as unconcerned about the Telophoroi as they claim. If the threat weren't real, why else would be they so standoffish and secretive? Is it their bunker, like Labyrinthos? Is that underneath Sharlayan? I would very much like to delve deeper into this, but I'm afraid I've exhausted every avenue of inquiry. Nor have I fared any better with my other mission, researching Hydaelyn in the Ethereal Sea. I tried enlisting the help of experts in the field, but it appears the Forum has forbidden anyone from cooperating with us. Obstructed at every turn. So it would seem, but don't lose heart just yet. With all the knowledge and acquaintances we have between us, we can still find a way forward. To that end, I'd like you all to join me here, when the time is right, of course. I'm aware that matters in Eorzea stand on a knife edge, but with your permission, I can at least start making the necessary arrangements. So this is where... Well, there are one or two things. I've always wanted to visit Sharlayan. Especially since I saw it in a trailer. And so you shall, albeit under less than happy circumstances. It may take a while to secure entry for you all, but I'll let you know when everything is in order. Look after yourselves in the meantime, won't you? Your speculations give me cause to hope. Yet if these seeds will bear fruit, I cannot say. While it is possible that the Sharlayans hide some secret truth from us, there can be no certainty that its exposure will prompt in them a change of hearts. And so for the present, we must needs confront the plight in which we find ourselves. The Forum has refused our request for aid, and it falls to us alone to contend with the Telophoroi. Even with all of Eorzea standing united, there's no guarantee that we will prevail. What does Sharlayan intend to do if we fail? Bury their heads in the sand. Lemon muffin. Delicious. Ba, 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 ba. I've no idea how many quests there are here. With their knowledge, Sharlayan could have done so much for our cause. They could have helped us to uncover the secrets of the towers and save the tempered captives within it, yet, gods. Throughout my childhood, I remember grandfather arguing with my father over Sharlayan's policy of non-intervention, and this time it was my turn to play the role. But even if my grandfather could not win him over, what chance had I? If words exist that may sway him, I know not what they are. The Forum includes representatives from all of Sharlayan's central institutions. With them hindering Kral's investigation, she will struggle to make any headway on her own. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.